Hey everyone, Ken here with Ken's Creations and Product Reviews. Well, as people find me on Facebook and YouTube, especially new crafters, one of the first questions I get is, Ken, do you have any favorite craft tips? And you know, over the past few years, I've gathered a ton of tips, and in today's video, I want to show you 6 of my favorite tips I use when I'm crafting. Now, keep in mind, these tips have been out on the internet probably for many, many years, and I did not create any of these tips. However, I wanted to share them with you. I've gathered them from Pinterest, YouTube, people leaving comments on my blogs, and I'm ready to share them and show you how they can impact your craft room. So let's go ahead and start with my first tip. Now, one of the first things I do when I'm going to craft is I'm going to go ahead and get my room smelling amazing. I do this with a Scentsy warmer and Scentsy scents. However, sometimes it takes some planning because you might go into your craft room and the liquid is already hot or it's solid and you need to get rid of it. Most people will do one of two things. They'll take a paper towel and try to drain it and clean up the mess, or they'll put it in their freezer, get it to a solid status, and then go ahead and scoop it out. Now, I discovered a quick way to clean this up. What you're gonna do is take 2 to 3 cotton balls and stick them right into the wax, and you're gonna let the cotton balls absorb that wax. Depending on how much wax is in there, you might need to use a few more cotton balls. Go ahead and let this absorb all of the wax out of your bowl, and then you can go ahead and take one final cotton ball and clean the remainder of the wax out. Once everything has been cleaned and it looks nice and sharp, you can go ahead, pick out your favorite scent, put it in your bowl, and in less than a minute, you have your new scent going in your craft room. So the next tip is a pretty obvious tip. I know a lot of crafters already do it. However, it was new to me when I discovered it. Now, when I craft, I like to drink either coffee or hot tea, but the problem is it always cools way too fast. And some mug warmers are very expensive. However, I got a tip from someone that if you go to Michael's and on coupon, get a candle warmer, it works exactly the same. Normally, you'd put your candle on the candle warmer, it would liquefy the wax and smell up your room. However, it works just as great if you put your cup of coffee or tea right on the warmer, turn it on, and it keeps it at a perfect temperature the entire time you craft. So simple, so obvious, but yet it took me years to discover this little nugget. Now, by far my favorite time-saving tip is using metal dies. Now, when you use a metal die in an embosser, you're going to see some of your dies are very intricate, and when it goes through, it leaves either pieces of paper on your magnet sheet or in the die itself. With this tip, we're going to show you how to avoid that. Let's go ahead and run this die through my Craftwell Cut Emboss, and we'll show you kind of the results you'll get. Now, once that's done, we're going to go ahead and lift it off, and you're going to see that on this die, it either leaves a lot of the circles still inside the paper, or it will actually leave them on the magnetic sheet. What you're going to end up having to do is take a pointer to clean out your die and to clean out all of the small bits of paper in your actual paper. So let's go ahead and show you a trick on how you can easily avoid this and save a ton of time. So let's show you a much easier way and a way to save time doing the same process using dryer sheets. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start with your metal die. Go ahead and put your paper on there and then layer that with 3 to 4 dryer sheets. Once you've done that, go ahead and run it through your embosser just like you did the first time. Now, once you're done with that, go ahead and take everything off, and you're going to go ahead and flip up the paper side up, and then go ahead and remove the paper. All of those dots are going to stick to the fabric softener, and now you don't have to worry about cleaning up your paper. Now, you can also reuse the fabric sheets by taking off that top layer and using the other two, so that way it's a little bit more cost effective. Plus, your projects smell really, really good. All right, I love this tip so much. Let me go ahead and show you it again. Now I'm going to show you another way to use this tip. Some dies that you're going to have almost look like a puzzle. So on this card I made here, as you can see, it had all these little pieces, and as soon as I removed my die, the pieces went everywhere and I was forced to spend a lot of time figuring out the puzzle. So using the dryer sheet method, we're gonna go ahead and put on our metal die, our piece of cardstock, and those 3 to 4 pieces of fabric softener. What this will do is it will keep those in place. So when you remove the paper, it's a nice, even solution. So once that's done, let's go ahead and remove all of our plates, and we can go ahead and flip over the project and we can remove the fabric softener sheet from the paper. Now, when you do this, some of the pieces might not always stick to the fabric softener, and that's okay. We can always go back and get those pieces. But overall, as you can see, it's perfect. So now we can go ahead and when we place these on the card, we have the perfect position of where they go and saves a ton of time. I just love this tip and it has saved me just so much heartache and time. So the next tip I want to show you is how you can glue down intricate designs without the mess and get a nice even coverage. Now we just cut out this nice stained glass window, and as you can see, it's pretty intricate. And when you would glue this down to the base, you would normally use your Scotch ATG gun. You might even use a broad tip glue pen. And most people would think the best choice would be to use a precision tip glue pen. All of these get the job done. However, when you adhere it to the bottom layer, they make a mess and they don't give you nice even coverage. That's when I use my favorite spray adhesive and spray a nice even coat on the back and get a good coverage. Now what you're gonna do is move your bottom layer out of the way, and you're gonna go ahead and do a nice even coverage spray on your intricate design. Then what we're gonna do is go ahead and bring in the base layer, and we're gonna go ahead and adhere that to the base layer nice and even. What this does is it's gonna go ahead and give you a nice coverage throughout the entire design, and you're not gonna have any mess to clean up. Plus, it's pretty quick drying. This is one of my favorite tips when making cards to get a nice even coverage. So my favorite organizational tip is using the 3M cord cable clips. Now these are double-sided. All you need to do is go ahead and remove one side that will go on the wall and the other side that will go on either your counter or behind the scenes. Go ahead and affix that to the back of the counter and slide your cord nice and even in there. Now the cord will be able to easily be removed and slide in and out. So you can put your machines away off your counter, bring them out when you need them, bring the cord up and plug it into the back of the machine. This is great for saving space. So the last tip I want to share with you has been a huge cost saving in my craft room. Now in a lot of my projects, I like to use foam squares or dots to raise up certain elements of the card. This gives the card a lot of character and it's just really fun and people really enjoy it. Now normally what I would do is I would go to my local craft store and I would either get some foam squares, I might get some foam circles, or recently I've fallen in love with foam tape. Now all of these do a great job, however they're expensive and it takes a ton of it to finish your project. Well, I discovered a tip that has really impacted this. In the tip, I discovered you can use kids foam. Now the kids foam comes in a wide variety of colors. You have almost every color of the rainbow, and what's also great about it is it comes with adhesive on the back side. Now what you can do with this is, of course, you can use it to raise up certain elements of the card. You're also able to match the color of the project you're using. You can control the thickness that you would like. So by layering 2, obviously it's going to give you a much thicker foam dot. Plus you can cut it to whatever design you would like. So this way you're not wasting space and you're able to position it perfectly. Let me go and show you in a project how to use this and how this can just impact your budget in your craft room. So let's go ahead and show you how you can do the custom foam on a card. So we have this butterfly stamped on this yellow image with the teal base card, and we're going to raise that up from the base card. Now I want to raise it up pretty drastically, so I'm going to be using 2 layers of foam. For this project, because the butterfly is stamped on a yellow cardstock, we're going to use yellow foam. Now we only have adhesive on one side, so we do need to add adhesive to the other side. And you can do that one of two ways. You can use your Scotch ATG gun, or you can use my way that I love doing in using a Xyron sticker maker. You're going to go ahead and put the color piece of the foam face down and run that through the Xyron sticker maker, making sure you get a nice even coat. Once that's done, we can go ahead and construct the card. We're going to flip over the part that has the butterfly embellishment, and we're going to go ahead and remove the top layer of that Xyron sticker maker. You're going to put the color side face down. When that is done, you can go ahead and remove the adhesive part of your colored foam. Take your second layer of foam with the color side face down and adhere it to the other piece of foam. Go ahead and remove the white protective sheet, and now you can go ahead and center it perfectly in your card. This is a great way to use these foams as a perfect foam square or foam circle, and it is a lot more reasonable in price. One of my favorite cost-saving tips that I can provide to you. Well, I hope you learned a new tip or two with those 6 craft room tips. So if you like this kind of video, make sure to leave me comments down below requesting more tips for your craft room, and hopefully they can make an impact in your life. Whether it's saving time, money, or just a little bit of a headache, any tip is a value piece of information. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure you're checking out my blog over at www.creativeken.com. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel to make sure you see all of my product reviews, craft tutorials, and maybe in the future, more crafting tips. You can follow me in my Facebook group or like my Facebook page, and you can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Pretty much anywhere I can be social on the net, I hope to be able to be social with you. Alright, thank you so much again for watching today's video. I hope you use some of these tips to go into your craft room and create something magical. Thanks everyone.